Hello and welcome to Busted Knuckles. My name is Steve Belaire and I'm your host. Today we're headed out to Leather Masters. We're going to meet the owner there. He's an awesome guy. You're going to love him. Then we're going to go out to Headingley Sports Shop and they're going to take us on a shop tour. It's amazing. And then we're going to head out to Morgan Cycle, and Adrian has started a complete restoration on a 70 Triumphbonneville. He's going to take us through that. Stick around. You're going to love the show. Okay, so now we're headed out to Leather Master to meet Yusuf. He's an awesome guy. It's a great little shop. If you're looking for any leather gear, you should check this guy out.
Yes, for sure. That's the number one is that I wish if you was giving me what they call like a heads up, I was be more prepared. But still, what they call like, because we like it the school way kind of things, all natural. Then that's what they call, that's okay too.
Yeah.
There's nothing is wrong with that. No? As that is on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ. Those are
That's what adds to the fun.
I said that those are the one you have to take off for sure to change it. The number one is what is hi to everybody, and thank you everyone. All these 25 years I'm here, and they supported me. And we don't believe too much in advertising, but at the same time as well, we like to pass the saving to the customer. That's why we keep the price as low as possible to be affordable to everybody. This is the fair things, I think. And that's what they call. And I was lucky enough to meet a very nice bunch of guys and girls, which, as I said, supported me, and many of them, they support my service plus what I'm selling in general. And on the other hand, I said, is thankful enough as to all those things, and plus what they can. God bless everybody, which is those guys who they are with us, or those who they left us through the accident. And always we love to support them, and we want to support their family behind. But they have to make sure they have to contact us, because we don't have the rights to go and knock the door and say, oh, do you need my help?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That is one of the best things is everybody has to know. And all these years, like example, we are with a bunch of riding club members, and which is what many of them, they issue what they call honorary certificate to us, like example, and what they call. But again, I said is what they have to approach us, and we set them up for our donation, to support them. And as they are supporting us, we love to support them too.
Yes.
That's what they call.
Okay.
We believe in an old school kind of things. Hands washes the hand. Both of them goes together and washes the face.
Yes.
And the straightforwardness is the best policy. I found out everybody loves it, actually.
Yeah.
And do as you like everybody does it to you.
Yeah.
Or serve everybody the way you like to be served.
Yeah.
That's the old school. Never goes wrong with it. And I hope the next generation is also to pick up the same.
Yes.
As you know, it is easy to mess up, but it's hard to make it really right.
Yeah.
But that's the way they can. Nothing is in this world is for free. All of us, we have a needs. But based on that, just an example, but do not forget, be fair.
I like your
That's it.
philosophy. I like that.
Okay, so the shop itself, you're obviously a tailor, so people can come in and have, if they want to buy a jacket or a vest, you can make changes to the sizes, make it fit better, or?
Oh yes, that's one of the things are what they call we based on custom tailoring, like what we started, based on custom tailoring, and plaster repair, alteration, restyling, redying.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
and the service which we offer to the customer, we guarantee not too many they can afford or they can do it. That's what they call, or they are willing to do it. You know, because these are the things as well.
Yeah.
If there is a will, there is a way.
Yeah.
As you know, this is the old school again.
Yeah.
That's fine. And our service is what they call like always been. Like this is the business card, the original business card. Then you can what they call see the services and all those things. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And after that, what they call based on because the economy and what they call the face of the what they call like the business has changed. That is why we changed with the
times.
times.
Yeah.
That is why we have like a website. That's what they can since 2004.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Okay.
we have a website since 2004. The first website, and second of all, what from 2006 we changed more towards bringing the goods with a very affordable price to sell it.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I say this what our economy, the way the overheads are, and plus the labor, if we make anything here, it is costly.
Yes.
Not too many they can afford.
Right.
But we love to serve everybody.
Yeah.
Like a low end, medium, and high end.
Right
All
on.
three. And second of all, what in case still we have some what they call good customers which they like to what they call our custom work, and always we do that.
Yeah.
And they order and we make them.
Perfect.
That's it.
Right on, man. That is awesome. Thank you very much. That is perfect.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, now we're headed out to Headingley Sports Shop, and they're going to take us on a shop tour. It is awesome. You're going to love this.
See what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, so back here is our used motorcycle section.
Oh.
And we got a back room with even more bikes. Lots of the time too.
Holy.
Pre-sold bikes will come back here. This is the stage to get ready for a build. So this is about 90% of our used bikes right now.
Wow. What do you mean get ready for a build?
Guys who buy a bike out of the showroom and want to have some accessories.
Oh, wow.
Kind of stage it here and then get pulled into the service area, which will go next.
Okay, wow. Look at some beauties here.
So all pre-owned bikes that come in get full certified for safety. They get gone over 100%, make sure everything's good to go for the next buyer. And so we have certified Harley techs here, Honda tech, Kawasaki obviously, Indian obviously, and now Triumph as well. So
Very nice.
yeah. So coming through here, we have a couple PDI bays.
Oh.
So for the busy seasons, we set these bays up and we build new machines.
Okay, yeah.
It's always a tight area to figure out where we're going to put everything. So here we're getting into a 6 tech bay.
Oh, sweet.
So the far bay near the garage door there is a wash bay as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's low. Low. It's low.
We work on pretty much everything with 2 wheels,
Is that right?
some with 3.
Okay.
Certain things we have trouble doing just because of special tools, or there's software programming on certain things that we don't.
Okay, yeah.
Got some spare parts up top there, mezzanine.
This is freaking cool. This is really nice.
Service department's just over here for the front desk there. Here we got Terry, Steve, and Emily.
Hi, guys.
How are you? So
That's
anyone
our
who's having a
service.
service issue or storage or whichever, he comes here and these guys can certainly get invoice.
You guys do storage too?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Storage. We've got about 50 spots or so.
Holy smokes.
7 months storage. And even in the summer, if you want to store something that's you're not using over the summer months.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Jeez. That's good to
indoor
know.
storage. It's not heated, but it's indoor, out of the elements.
Okay.
So here's a
Fantastic.
showroom. We got it kind of flipped over into the snowmobile world
Yeah.
as we ramp up into the winter months.
Here's your new Triumph selection.
Line. We're going to be doing a full renovation through here.
Oh, is that right?
Months of starting fairly soon.
Is set up specifically for Triumph?
Yep.
Nice.
Triumph Road Black.
Okay, so now we're headed out to Morgan Cycle. Adrian is doing a complete restoration on a 70 Triumphbonneville. Now, he's already pulled the motor and ripped it apart because he knew he had to order a whole bunch of parts. So we're going to go take a look. He's going to show us everything that's right and wrong with the motor and the frame, etc. And then starting next week, we're going to watch him start putting it back together, doing the rebuild, etc. So check this out. It's really interesting.
Okay, cool. So this is the beginning of a restoration for a 1970 Triumph Bonneville T120R. And the owner isn't too sure of what's going on in the engine. It was supposedly rebuilt 36 years ago, but that we don't know. So we've dug inside to see what's going on. So what you see here is a completely disassembled Triumph engine. And just to kind of show you some parts, if you get close up here, you can see here's the cylinders and what looks like somebody's brazed a crack in the bore. So that's a no-no. We can't live with that, so we'll have to
There's
order.
no way that ran.
No, they would have probably told this customer that it ran, and I guess he may have had the work done and put it away. Yeah, so not knowing, you know, that's where we're at, right? It would have definitely damaged the pistons, and there looks like new pistons installed, and you can see scuffs and scratches in them there.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, so and these are brand new 40 over pistons. They
haven't even been fired?
No, there's not any.
So he damaged him just installing them and trying to kickstart it or whatever.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of problem number one. And the bores in it are, you know, they could be salvageable, but once you go to 60 over, then there's not much life after that, right? You only can take these to about 60 over.
So one more, and you'd have to go to that one right now.
Yeah.
And there's just not no point with the cracked cylinder.
No, definitely
So
no.
the plan is,
Well, the plan is now to install a Morgo big bore kit. So it comes complete with a whole new cylinder and pistons, and it's a whole kit.
so they'll get a bit faster bike in
Yeah, you're increasing your displacement. The fins, everything's bigger.
It'll look original?
Yeah, they look original. You could tell by looking at it though that it's not original. I mean, to the discerning eye, right? But they are pretty close. But they are an improvement. There's bigger cooling fins and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's a good product. They also make oil pumps and other things like that. Rotary oil pumps, plunger oil pumps. So. Yeah, again, that's just something that is a necessity on this one. If let's say this particular project, it's not a numbers matching, so the engine isn't the same.
Okay. Does that matter?
No. I mean,
Doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, let's say it was a numbers matching motorcycle, then we would try to source a used set of cylinders that were, serviceable.
Original.
Yeah, just to keep it closer to original. Yeah. So other than that, then you can move into all the other cases. They're quite dirty, full of water. Here's the most important thing that's often neglected in Triumph and BSAs, other British bikes. So this is part of your oil filter system. This is just like an emulsion tube, and it goes inside here, and there's a plug for it. And as the crank is spinning, it's spraying the contaminants against this tube. And what often happens is when you pull them out, they are plugged. This one wasn't plugged, but there was a lot of, like you can see if you look close, it's very gritty.
Oh, grimy.
So what'll happen is it'll plug up the holes here in the journals, right? And now you're not getting oil to the big ends and the con rods.
Right.
So the next thing to do is inspect the con rods. You can measure the length of them, right?
Yeah.
You can weigh them. You can do all kinds of things to make sure they're serviceable. But these are brand new big ends that were installed in this 36 years ago. And I don't know if you can tell, but there is damage. There's
big grooves in it.
Yeah, and that's just from the grit that was not cleaned out.
Oh.
So it looks like they would have put 40 over pistons. They would have put new big ends in there, and Triumph, the way they design their motorcycles, if you look at this, would be the right hand side, so the timing side. This is a brand new bearing. It appears to be brand new.
Yeah.
So they would have replaced all that stuff, and it would have made a good build. However, they neglected to do the most important thing, was
service that.
Well, you have to clean it, otherwise all you're doing is pushing out all the dirt.
Oh, the dirt's going to come back.
Yeah, and it's going to end up all over the engine. So, here's the primary side, and you can see there's water in there.
Oh my.
Yeah, so it may have been stored poorly by a previous guy that was trying to restore it, but yeah, you can't store nothing outside. This is your kicker cover. This would have its own separate oil. And you can see it's orange. So like this was a lot rustier, but you can see the rust.
Oh.
This is part of what moves your shifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, your gearbox. So like there's rust inside there. So it's lots of cleanup for this particular thing. Like here's all the clutch parts. Here's your clutch housing.
It's all rusty.
Everything's full of rust. So major cleanup on this one. Here's the tachometer drive. So it would sit on the primary side in this hole here like this.
Okay, yeah.
And it was seized and damaged. As if you look at the end of your speedometer cable,
yeah,
there's a little blade.
Yeah.
Some Japanese ones are square, and this is what spins the cable to make your tach work.
Okay, yeah.
So here's the little gears that spin and make it work. So they were so full of rust that it had snapped the cable off.
Oh.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's where this one's at. Here's the cylinder head. So it appears that the valve guides are good on this one.
Yeah.
We're going to give this one we're going to resurface the valves on the seats on this one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like they're not that bad, but again, they need to be resurfaced. The valves are not very good either. There's no reason to not do it because the cost of the parts are not that high.
Yeah, and you got it apart, you might as well,
Yeah.
like valve guides and like that, or they come in the gasket kits, don't they?
Yeah, some stuff is, like we can get kibble wet, made in the UK, it's high quality stuff. There's American stuff. You can also go with stuff out of Asia.
Okay.
So I mean, it's whatever your price point
Lots
is.
of available.
Yeah, there's several price points. So on this side, here's your cam. So this is a push rod engine, right?
Yeah.
So it has everything spinning.
Yeah.
The cams appear to be okay. I'll try not to touch, but they don't appear to be dulled, they look okay.
There's something.
Yeah.
At least something's good.
So this is where your gearbox. This is like what your transmission. So a separate bag here. And here's this gentleman's gearbox. I don't know if you can see that through the plastic, but you can see the color of it. It's orange, so it's not good.
Yeah. So there was water throughout the whole motor?
Yeah, when we had separated the halves, more water came out. Yeah, so.
Oh.
Yeah, and here's the inlet valve. Like they're not too bad. Like the head appears to be not that bad on this one, but then again, we're gonna make sure everything is.
Yeah, you gotta measure everything.
Yeah, and then here's some rocker boxes. So these would sit on top of the head.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that.
Yeah.
And these are adjusting pins in here. So these adjusting pins appear to be in serviceable condition. So again, all this stuff gets cleaned up. There's seals on each side. You pull them all apart and replace them.
Okay.
Contrary to what everyone thinks of British bikes all leak oil, that's not necessarily the case if you've replaced all the seals, right? So these ones always leak. You'll see a Triumph and they're always leaking out of the spindles there, and all you got to do is
Replace the seals.
replace. Yeah, so if you look at a bike, you'll see some guys will put a dab of silicone there. So I mean, it's not a fun job to do. You got to take a bit of it apart, but you replace that seal and it won't leak, and then you can take your silicone off. So yeah.
That's the stuff you might as well do when you gotta rip apart anyway.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, there's no reason not to. And here's your clutch plates. And I mean, I see often, even in bikes that are, have been ridden, where they sit for the winter and they'll form a rust. That's why you see us at the end of the year
Well, those actually look like they're got quite a bit of miles on them already.
Yeah, these we haven't measured yet, but these are most certainly not going to be put back in.
Yeah, they're in rough shape.
Yeah. So, and again, there's a few options in terms of price point which you can put in these.
Right, you can go stockish or you can go race-ish while you got it.
Yeah, I don't really recommend like Barnett Racing clutches and springs because the clutch feels quite heavy on them. So, guys will often install them thinking that it's a heavy-duty solution, but it's really only for racing, or you should only use it for racing. So standard clutch gives you the best operation, right? So often a guy will put in a Barnett clutch and springs, and then he'll have a hydraulic clutch, to assist the operation of the clutch. So yeah, that's essentially the beginning of this process. We could show you what the frame looks like if you wish. Yeah. Okay. All right, so here's Here's the chassis. Most of it's there. There's a lot of hardware that's been damaged. It appears like somebody's scraped.
When they were working on it,
Yeah,
they were
there's
using adjustable wrenches and stuff.
Well, no, actually, they appear okay that way, but it's like they've removed the cadmium plating on it, and so
that's why it's all rusted.
Yeah, we'll have to correct that, and then there appears to be
Oh, that's the wrong bolts.
hardware Hank style bolts everywhere. So
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, I see them now. They're all over the place.
yeah, conduit, like the whole conduit.
So sad. You know, and they probably some of the bolts were replaced were just fine, but they thought, oh, I'm doing them all, might as well make them match.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because
And now you're, oh, look at even on the wheels.
yeah.
It's going to take forever to find all the bolts.
Yeah, like that. Some of this stuff is available, so we'll have to. And that just makes the restoration a bigger job because.
And somebody's done a paint job on it.
Yeah, this is a trim clad.
Oh, I was thinking it came out of a spray can, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. So what we'll be able to show you is the process after it's been sandblasted, and.
Are you going to blast the frame?
Yeah, everything's going to get blasted and power.
Oh, so you're doing a complete restore of the spike.
Well, that's the only way to do it.
Oh, look at that.
Triumph.
Oh, a few things there.
Things. Yeah.
Somebody's already started to work on it.
Well, I don't know what the other restorer was trying to do, but
Is that fair, or did they put a clear on that?
I don't. It doesn't feel like there's a clear on it, but I've kept everything indoors, so
Oh, okay.
it's flash rusting, but it's not happening very fast, which is good.
It used to be purple?
Yeah, I guess it was purple back in the day.
At one time?
At one time.
But that's not the original.
No, that's not the correct color, so the owners requested the correct color for the year, so.
And there was only one color?
That year I'd have to look, but I believe there was 2 or 3 colors, I believe.
And he chose one color.
Yeah, well, I think 70 in Bonneville was that color I told you. It would look like this, but it would be red underneath.
Red.
Yeah. And then the fenders, those are stainless fenders, and they would be.
Oh, they're stainless?
Yeah, those are stainless.
Oh, okay.
And they get painted.
Oh, you paint them?
Yeah, they get painted. Yeah, they would have come painted.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So somebody took all the paint off of these?
Yeah. So, and this one's damaged. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody's put some body
Oh, it's the
filler
putty on it.
Yeah, and there would have been
Yeah,
a
it looks
rib
like
there.
there was some rust there.
Yeah, it looks like a welding repair. So,
Oh, okay, and so somebody bent it?
Yeah.
Cut a piece off of it?
something. Yeah. Watch your step there. So we have a replacement here. This is the other side cover that comes on it.
Yeah.
So this is a reproduction.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, this motorcycle was missing this particular cover.
okay, yeah.
So,
Oh,
right, and here's
there's a reproduction than nothing at all.
Yeah, and then here's a reproduction rear fender.
That's a repo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. These
Nice.
ones are made in the UK.
Okay, so good quality.
Yeah, they're high quality. They're correct.
Okay, so what do you think? Another great show? Yeah, I think so, eh? Come back next week. We'll try to do it again. Take care.